Let's see, okay. So I just got back from Taco Cabana for the second time today, and it's not a place that I frequent very often anymore now that I don't live like right next to it like I used to. It used to be my parking lot, essentially. And at one time it was at 6 o'clock in the morning, and this time it's 11:30, and somehow the same dude was there, and he was like, "You came here twice a day," and he just kind of like said it to me, like matter of fact. And I was like, "Yep," and I realized I can't, pretend like it was someone else anymore, because there's not going to be very many fair-skinned girls out there with this look. And some other employee was getting off work, one I didn't deal with earlier, and it was like an older Latin American gentleman, and he came by and told me, "I love your hair." And I was like, well, thank you. And he said, "Did you do it yourself?" And I was like, "No, sir, I absolutely would have made it look like a disaster if I'd done it on my own. I paid for someone to do this." And he's like, "Don't be so modest." He's like, "But it looks great." And this isn't the first time someone has stepped out of their little cocoon of hiding behind earphones or glasses or whatever to avoid eye contact with me, or most people don't like to get too involved in other people's lives. And people have stepped out of their comfort zone and come up to me and said that they liked it. And I've been led to believe my entire life that having colored hair or piercings or tattoos or anything like that renders you kind of criminal looking or suspect, or like you're a junkie, or you're a slut, or what have you, wrong side of the tracks. But I've never viewed it like that. I've wanted to, ever since I was younger, 7th grade, 8th grade, I started to really embrace the whole punk rock aesthetic, or just the whole movement. I liked the music, I liked the actual look, I liked what it stood for. It's not so much that I'm rebellious by nature, but I am very much an against the grain person. I can't go with the flow, so it's not that I go against it, it's just that I embrace my differences and I like to broadcast them. They're not dangerous, and they're not something to be scared of. They don't mean that I'm a bad kid or grown woman. They just mean that the look, this brown hair, mousy little girl, doesn't really fit my mental picture of myself. I close my eyes and I picture this kid with spiky short hair and leather cups and metal studs and ripped jeans and a band t-shirt. That's what I embrace, and that's how I view myself. Even when I was a little kid, I draw blue hair myself, and I always wanted blue hair. And I finally got it. 15-year-old Sunny, you did it. And I think a part of it is, that I just think it's kind of rad, but another part of me thinks that it speaks volumes when my anxiety and my initial shyness render me mute. It makes a statement before the words can form, I am one of those people who, unless spoken to first, I'm probably not going to initiate a conversation. I'm very reticent by nature until you get me talking, and then you can't shut me up. And I think that it just kind of invites conversation. It invites someone to come up to me and say something. It lets you know that I'm not necessarily conservative. It lets you know that I maybe trend more towards an alternative life. My short hair, I would think people would think I was either super cool, which is very wrong, or maybe super gay, which is kind of what I hope. I've mentioned this before, but the weirdest thing is that, like, a couple years ago when I had short hair, I was stirred constantly. I wore the same kind of clothes, which is like basketball shorts and t-shirts and no makeup, and I understand how people might think I was a little kid, but I'd hold doors open for people, which is kind of a male thing to do here in Texas, and I'd be like, the old dudes would be like, "Thank you, sir," and I'd just laugh and accept it. I'm like, okay, sir. But now everyone has called me ma'am. Yeah, got boobs on me, but I'm also always covering up with a jacket. So I just think that's a sign of how much the times have changed in the past 12 years. Oh my god. Oh, I guess it was 2009 was when I cut my hair. Okay, so that's not right. Less years than that. But you get the gist. I mean, everything has changed. It's okay for girls to be a little bit bolder in their style and not have to just stick to dresses and whatnot. A lot of things have become more open to us, opportunity-wise. Except for apparently Wonder Woman screenings. God forbid we try to make that all female. But anyway, my mom has always been kind of very conservative in her approach to what you wear and how you present yourself, and I get it. But I kind of want to change that. I want people to come up to me, and those who are typically very buttoned up and polos and khakis and sundresses, I want them to get to know me and see that I'm no different, you know? Like, I'm a nice kid. I'm a smart person. I'm very well-rounded. I'm very open. I'll never be mean. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to get in a political debate. And if I do, I laugh it off and I'm like, you know, it is what it is. We just have different opinions. Just leave it at that. Let's talk about how cute your dog is or something. But when I came home with my hair cut like this, she said to my dad in the other room, I could hear her say, I think she's just trying to relive her childhood. And I just want to say that's not the case. And she knows now, and I was super scared to come back with this hairstyle. I didn't 100% intend to do it. I wanted to get it short, but the bleaching, I had never thought of that. I had never thought of that before until they recommended it to me. They were like, it looks fine, but it would look really cool if you did this. And I am a sucker for peer pressure. And that's the last thing I'm going to say about the hair. I will say that I have never been complimented before in my hair when it was brown and long. It was just accepted as the norm, and so everyone was quiet about it. You know, I guess just, oh, okay, she's one of the, she's okay. She's one of the average people, whatever. But I've been complimented a lot out in the world with this hair. And if I don't hear it, I don't believe it. And even when I hear it, I probably won't believe it. But it at least means that people are paying attention, and that's what I kind of want. I want this to do the talking for me. So anyway, that's what I'll say about it, and rant over. All right, bye.